Haha! Alright, so we finally got into the game. Once again, guys, 5 stars taking on belieB. My name is Draskyl, joined for the cast today by none other than Josh, PAINTITGOLD Amos, man. And we're finally going to actually get to cast some Dota. What do you think?
Exciting. I haven't heard of either of these teams, but I recognize a couple players on Team 2, the Dire.
Team belieB, yeah. We got
Yeah,
Ryu, Boros, and
yeah,
Cakes.
that's
Those are the
pretty
two that
much
I know.
that's pretty much the guy I see matchmaking quite a bit.
Yeah, he's actually pretty good. I've played against him a handful of times. I have like 30 Smurf accounts, so no real surprise there. But gonna see CK ban out the first. Not really too shocking. Followed by Lycan as well. And yeah, I like watching teams that you've actually not seen too much of because some, especially South American teams, especially, they love aggression. They like to play basically just go gank, get towers because of that, and not just pick up straight pushing heroes, which I guess some people consider a little bit boring. But I really like aggressive playstyle of South American teams that we've seen thus far.
Yeah, I mean I haven't watched any of the South American games, but I know what you're talking about. So,
It's okay, man.
gosh,
It's okay.
yeah. I actually don't know what's going on with this right now. This league for us. I think we've won both our matches in it, and we're on our way to like the playoffs. Nice.
Yeah, if you win both your games, there's a good chance because two teams make it out of every single group, and then you make it to the playoffs after that, where you're going to play against obviously the people who made it out of the other groups. And I'm not sure exactly what happens after that either, but we're going to see a Leshrac Ben, so not really anything else too crazy coming out yet from 5 stars at least. Followed by a Darkseer, and so far just being super standard.
Yep. Big shout out to Machinima for running this tournament.
Yeah,
Big
definitely.
sponsor here at Quantic Gaming as well.
It's
Good
actually a
guys.
huge sponsor. Like
Hmm.
Machinima is a huge company. They weren't so big, a couple of years ago, back when I first started actually seeing some of their stuff, but now they are quite large and giving us a $3,000 prize pool tournament. And this is a North and South American tournament. Both teams today actually from South America. I think you said one of them is from Belize, and where's the other one from? Colombia? Or are you
Yeah,
just trolling me?
Colombia.
I think he's just
No,
trolling me.
no, they're from Belize.
Okay, I'll believe you, man. I'm putting my
Yeah,
trust
they
in
just
you.
the B at the end, they messed it up. Like
Oh
they
gosh.
meant to spell Belize. Actually, that's not even how you spell Belize. Oh
Yeah, I was
no.
gonna say I don't think that actually.
No,
Oh
I was just
jeez.
playing with you. Just kind of looks like it. So
Well,
Belize is a nice country, so or a nice place in a country, rather. So
we're definitely geography majors, as most of you probably have figured
yeah.
out already.
Well, I actually know where it is.
Well, I have
I
no
don't know
idea
what
where it
country
is.
it is.
If you put
It's
a
in
gun to
South
my head and
America,
showed me
man.
a
It's
map,
like
I'd be like, no idea.
they speak English there
Well, that's definitely a
as their main
bonus and
language.
completely relevant to what's going on right now. Furion going to be the last ban out from 5 stars, and I don't really think we've seen anything so standard actually throughout this entire tournament. Both teams just banning like the super high tier, don't want to play against heroes.
Mm.
And Evoker going to be the last one out. So that one's probably the only one where I figure is a little bit strange. Typically, when people go for the last pick, they're either going to take out one jungler, typically, albeit Chen or Enchantress, doesn't really matter which one. Typically, though, you will see Chen taken out because people don't want to play against the stronger of the two junglers in the earlier phases of the game, whereas Enchantress has to get levels up to really be that effective. Nature's Attendance is okay, but I feel like once Chen hits 6 and he gets up like Mana Boots Mech, he's a much, much stronger mid-game hero than Enchantress can be, unless she has an amazing start. But we're going to go ahead and get into the picking phase. First pick does go to Radiant here. Going to see what they want to do. What do you think they're going to go for a jungler, man? Or what do you... I mean, I'm just asking just randomly because we
Well,
obviously don't know
I
either of these
mean,
teams.
what's left in the pool? There is Darkseer.
No, Darkseer's banned.
There's oh no, Darkseer's out.
Oh, they're going to
Brewmaster.
go Brew.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it was a shot in the dark.
No, I know. That's what I was saying. I mean, just trying to move things along here a little bit, We like to keep
Yeah.
the flow going.
It's nice to have South American teams getting a chance to strut their stuff. Like they have a pretty big community.
Oh, yeah, it's
Like
huge.
Brazil, Colombia, everyone down there, and they don't really have any tournaments to show for it, which is sad.
When we were casting
Hopefully
the
we'll get
Pain game, we actually had upwards of like 1,600 viewers. So yeah, they definitely do have a very, very big Dota scene down there.
hmm And I think it's a lot like Asia in a way. They play at LAN cafes and stuff. So it's a good way to build friends, and it's a fun game. It's so much fun. Dota on LAN is so much funner online than on playing online. Playing with friends on LAN is so much different. It's much more fun. So Brazil has that, I think. So they should be able to produce some good teams.
Yeah, I'm really hoping so. And I really just like like you said as well, the fact that South American teams are actually getting more into the game now. They're showing themselves in tournaments, and that just means that Dota 2 is going to be much bigger than its predecessor, I think. I mean, giving it its own engine in itself is going to help tremendously to that cause, but now everyone's kind of looking at Dota 2 and waiting for the actual release of the game because it is going to be free to play, but it's still going to cost $20 to get yourself a early access quote-unquote key, as people don't want to call it a beta anymore, even though the game's not actually done, so I'm pretty sure that's like the definition of a beta. Anyhow, back to the game here for just a second. Queen of Pain and Tidehunter both being picked up here by belieB, as well as a Shadow Demon for 5 stars. So right away, you can just imagine belieB's lineup is just completely based around teamfight just because of those two heroes.
Mm-hmm. We haven't seen a jungler picked up, but either jungler, Enchantress, Chen, Enigma, they're all very strong with Shadow Demon. Gank-wise. They can take down the long lane hero on the other team with ease once Enigma gets 3. So
5 stars going with Enigma here. I think Enigma is always very, very strong, especially against heroes like Queen of Pain who rely on mobility to be able to get in and out of team fights. One decent black hole, although already with the Tidehunter on the other team, he might be hard-pressed to actually get one of those off. The one thing, though, that I really am not sure so far is we see Shadow Demon a lot nowadays. I mean, I think a lot of teams value him as one of the best supports in the game, but typically when we see him, it's always partnered with something like an Invoker or another like really good stunner like Sand King or even Earthshaker in some cases to ensure that you can line up a decent Soul Catcher combo and be able to pick people off. But they don't really have any of that yet. They're basically just looking at a jungler, a mid, and possibly a hard support.
I mean, you can always lane, like, just do like a tri-lane with Shadow Demon and Panda. It's very strong because Panda he's able to get in range to get his clap off, and if you hit the Soul Catcher, it does a ton of damage as well. So that's another option. Just laning Panda and SD is good too. Like in the mid and safe lane works as well. It's good at killing the mid and safe lane. We laned SD Panda against CLG when we played them in the defense, and we destroyed our lane. I think we were like 7 or 8 kills in like 10, 12 minutes, and it really made the game for us.
Yeah, if anybody gets cut out by disruption, it allows Panda to close the gap early on, which he really suffers from. That's why people pretty much go Blink Dagger on him right away to kind of compensate for that. But if you have a Shadow Demon, you can basically just buy yourself 2.5 seconds to go ahead and waddle up there and throw out your Thunderclap, and then you can pretty much just do whatever you want from there. Last pickup for the first pick phase is going to be Venomancer for belieBers, and then Night Stalker going to not be seen this game, along with a Brood. Actually taking a pretty late ban, probably still worth it though, even though they still have a Tide on their team. They might just not be looking to send him to a solo lane to go up against that Brood, maybe just looking to do a secondary support role, as I'm sure that Venomancer is going to be in that hard support role for this game. And looking at the teams right now, I think really all we can say is both teams are insanely open as to what they can lane and pick at this point.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the Veno pickup against Panda. And, I mean, Enigma is going to be getting BKB relatively fast because anytime you play against Tidehunter, BKB is on your item list as a second or third item usually. So, I mean, Panda, he kind of negates the ultimate in the slow. And he's very good at killing Venomancer, so I'm not really liking that pick that much, but maybe it's a strat that belieBs has practiced.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible. I think Venomancer is like the safe support. You know, you get Plague Words up, you try to just defend some hero so he can get up farm. So I'm expecting that belieB's going to pick up something in the later phases at least that they want to have carry potential of some sort. Because right now, Queen of Pain can build as a carry, but they don't have anything to stop that Panda from ulting, like you said. I mean, they have Ravage, but I don't think that their lineup with those heroes alone is going to be able to pick him off fast enough. Enigma, once he gets a BKB, they have nothing really to stop him from ulting it either. We could be actually seeing another support out of them. I mean, it is a possibility. They do, I think, in my opinion, need harder stuns, and the Night Stalker ban out actually makes much more sense now seeing the fact that they do have that brew, because whenever there's a Night Stalker in the game, like 7-second silence, I think it is, at max rank, before you can even get your ultimate off, that's just really, really tough to deal with. And actually, 5 star is going to go with the Lena pick.
I don't know if 5-star likes to do a solo Enigma or a long lane Enigma. You can send a mid or a long lane. He's a very flexible hero. But if they do something like a Lena Panda SD tri-lane, it's actually like very, very strong. Gives great setup for when they pop out of disruption, and yeah, it's just really high killing potential.
Well, I think these picks are kind of reflecting what we were saying earlier, is that South Americans love to play aggressive Dota, and especially seeing Lena actually picked up by a lot of teams. Like, it's not just, 5 stars. A lot of teams in this tournament have been picking up Lena. Even on the international stage, I think I've seen a handful of teams still want to play Lena because she does have one of the highest bursts in the game pretty much of any hero, especially as a support. You don't necessarily need that many items to be effective on the hero, and she still brings a lot of kill potential to the table. And belieB is going to go with another support. They're going to go ahead and pick up Earthshaker, so that does help to a certain extent, but I mean, I don't really know what they're going to do for the late game. They have 3 heroes that really don't scale that great. I mean, Earthshaker is going to get a blink. Tide's going to build probably tanky in this particular case and go for something like a pipe against the kind of burst damage that 5 stars is bringing. And then you have Queen of Pain, who's going to be heavily relied upon this game to be effective in the later stages. And okay, so Klink's going to come out for 5 stars as the last pick out here. I actually like that one quite a bit because he can also side lane solo with the best of them. And I assume we're probably going to be seeing a 2-2-1 here. And maybe a defensive Enigma jungle. Or actually, that wouldn't be a 2-2-1. Just solo with the Klink's top. And then have a dual lane mid with the Shadow Demon and the Panda. And possibly have a solo Lena bottom or Klink's. Not really sure what they're going to choose to do for those solos, though.
I think a 5-star, I think if their players can do it, I mean, they seem confident in their picks right now. But if they can do it, I think that the tri-lane potential that they have, should just send Enigma mid, Klink safe, and then they should just tri-lane the other 3 because it's very dominant and just strong. But then again, belieB has Earthshaker disrupt.
Dirge the Undying. I think this is actually the first game where I actually get to cast a Dirge. I mean, he had just made his way into the pool recently. Make sure I turn off the overlay here really quick. But as a last pick Dirge, I mean, they got to be looking to just heavy push now with that hero. They're not looking to go late.
That hero's messed up, man.
He is pretty messed up. He actually looks a little bit disgusting. He's got some flies. He's actually got a hobble, too. Looks like he hurt his leg sometime before he actually turned into a zombie. We'll go over the players really fast here, too. From belieB, we're going to have Defect playing on that Undying. Exiled. Playing the Tide Hunter, Boros. I think that's how you say it, right? On Queen of Pain. We're also going to have Cakes playing on the Venomancer and Joik, finally, on that Earthshaker. We're going to have Delilah coming out here as a first from 5 stars. Kazers is going to be playing on the Brewmaster. The Situation. I'm just going to call him the Sitch because, I think everybody's seen that, right? Going to be playing Lena in middle lane. We're going to have actually Shiny playing Enigma going to that middle lane. And Penne Gigante, I think that means big wiener. I'm actually fairly certain that's what it means. So that's embarrassing that I just said that on stream. But nonetheless, we're going to have a tri-line up here like you were predicting. Shadow Demon, Brewmaster, and Lena coming out from 5 stars. Probably also going to be seeing a tri-lane here out of belieBers as well. So Earthshaker, Venomancer, and Dirge tri-lane. This is going to be heavy push coming out pretty much from belieB, unless the supports are just going to go ahead and try to smoke up and get a kill on mid. I suppose it is possible. Does Earthshaker have smoke? He does. And it is going to be Enigma, and Enigma is kind of susceptible to ganks, but at the same time, you got to be careful not to overcommit, because conversions still do a pretty significant amount of damage in the early game, plus the tower is going to be there to worry about as well. Going to see a haste picked up here by Queen of Pain. He's going to be solo and top against this tri-lane. And just looking at the lanes so far, what do you think, man?
Well, they're both dodging the situation. And, an SD Lena Panda is much more capable of killing than Klink's Earthshaker Undying. Or, not Klink's, Veno Earthshaker Undying against a Klink's. Like, you can definitely, if you time your combo right, you can kill a Qua. So, I mean, they both dodge the tri-lanes, which is unusual because it's usually tri-lane when you want to make something happen or punish another team for picking greedily or something.
Well, I think the nice thing, at least in turn... Oh, actually, we're going to see Earthshaker already TPing up to the top lane. Looks like they did want to fight this. Maybe belieB thought that there was going to be a tri-lane in the bottom lane, but now Queen of Pain should be a little bit safer here. Not really the safest in the world, and Dirge is actually going to be soloing against Klinks, and I don't really think he's going to be having too good of a time down here. Venomancer being played by Cakes is kind of wandering around in the woods, and they really need to make sure that this Dirge doesn't just get completely shut down. He's going to get some decent experience, which is definitely great. Wants those ranks into Tombstone and Decay as well. And so far, nothing really happening. All's quiet. And this is another thing, too, that I find a bit strange, is they're putting their Tide mid. He's actually not going to be supporting an all exiled. He's just going to go carry Tide build. Going to go for the max anchor smash. And I got to assume tank up here in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, Enigma's one of the strongest mids, and I don't know why, but for some reason he's not using his conversions, but he could have, like, every last hit in the lane if he was. I play Enigma mid frequently, and, I mean, I get, like, regularly, like, 50 to, like, 30 CS in, like, 10 minutes, because it's so strong. But I don't know why he's sending his conversions away. Strange.
Well, it could be because he's anticipating they're just going to get anchor smash, but I don't think it one-shots. I'm actually fairly certain it would take like 2 or 3 to even kill those. Okay, now he's actually using them in the middle lane. But interestingly enough, Tidehunter didn't opt to start with a stout. Maybe he wasn't expecting to see that Enigma middle lane. Yeah, he's just going to go walk into these and anchor smash twice, so that's pretty much just free gold. Maybe that's why he was sending him away.
Yeah, I mean, poor Micro.
Yeah.
In my opinion, like, if the hero was there, there's no way Ty could stand the hero plus idle on her ass.
Go and take a peek at the gold graph here. Nothing really much has changed. About 100 experience in favor of belieB, 100 gold in favor of 5 stars. And I have to kind of imagine at some point that, at least if you're 5 stars, you're going to want to move around a bit. I mean, these heroes like Shadow Demon and Lina, they need to be able to kill somebody to really fulfill their role. I mean, Shadow Demon's going to be great throughout pretty much the entire game if his disruptions are on point, but Lina's kind of a hero that if you don't really get kills and try to get some items and towers early game, that she is very, very difficult to deal with, especially, or to play as, I should say, if you're playing against a team with heavy initiation like belieBers is going to have in the mid stages.
Well, anytime you aggressive tri-lane and don't get kills out of it, it's always a negative thing. You're losing XP, you're losing gold. You have 2 useless supports sitting in lane, well, you have 1 carry farming, so they need to be making action happen, and they're looking to right now, but, I mean, it's just Earthshaker. The Earthshaker co-op negates it perfectly. Lina's not going to be able to have a follow-up stun. So, their lanes are working out very well for belieB, and after that initial try by 5 stars, we might see a lane change up. It would be smart.
Or at the very least, maybe like an attempted smoke gank on mid. I mean, Lina does have a smoke.
Yeah, they need to be trying to make something happen, for sure.
And it is going to be picked up by Tide. Enigma's still sitting here mid. And this is actually a little bit interesting. The Enigma's getting pushed back. So the Tide is actually doing a fairly good job of controlling the rune just by virtue of using that anchor smash to get the lane in his opponent's face, so you can't possibly chase to the rune. That's always a tactic that most decent mid players are always going to employ. If you have the better pushing hero, you should have fairly decent rune control, assuming that your team isn't helping rune for you. And in this bottom lane, Venomancer's actually kind of been sitting here for a while. Dirge is actually up to 15 and 5 CS, so he's not doing too badly, although Klinks is at 16 and 1. So in terms of overall farm, everything is just looking so even at this point. Like, no lane is really getting a quote-unquote advantage, but I definitely agree with you when you say that the aggressive tri-lane wants to be able to get kills. And if they wait too much longer, man, this Tide's going to be 6 before they even attempt to leave their lane. I think that has to be a bit of a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, belieB's gonna, like, in the long run,
okay, now they're going,
it's gonna pay off for them. Yeah. They have Veno leeching bottom, and they have an Undying as well, getting full XP bottom. And then there's 3 heroes in 1 lane leeching XP. And this smoke gank is really obvious, so you see 2 heroes missing. You see the Panda playing back. He's changed up his playstyle. I mean, yeah, you're completely back mid. It's not gonna work.
Yeah, they've actually already made their way back to the top lane. They're just not even going to go for it. Or maybe they are. I mean, Tide is kind of sitting here on the high ground. He can be spotted, though. It is daytime. And he's going to hit 6, so even if they try to dive him right here, I really don't think it's going to work. So they're really kind of putting all their eggs in one basket here with this Panda. I mean, he's only at 19 and 8 at 5 minutes. I mean, in a tri-lane, you really want to have better farm than that. And maybe they would have just been better off putting their tri-lane bottom.
Yeah. I mean, if we're looking at an entire different aspect, if we're going to say that, though, we could have a jungle
true.
Enigma, and then someone else lane top, and then like dual lanes. I don't know, but yeah, they need to make the action happen top, and going on ES if they can ever get the opening is one way to do it.
And Joik has really good positioning, though. He's playing the Earthshaker the way that, I mean, it's pretty much meant to be played. Just sit really far back, protect the person in your lane who's getting farm. And even if they do soul catch with this Queen of Pain, the Fissure is always going to be there. So the only way they're ever going to kill him is if the Lina manages to line up like a perfect stun on top of it, and Panda's there as well to help.
What they needed to do... Sorry to cut you off, but what they needed to do was push the lane up earlier and push it into the tower and then just dive the Earthshaker from behind with 2 heroes, like the Lina and Esty. And we see Tide TPing up top.
Shadow Demon's going to get blocked out here. He has nowhere to go. Can't go to the low ground. Queen of Pain blinks in. Tide's here as well, TPing that first through tower. As you said, we could be seeing the first blood. Oh, nice stun actually from the low ground from the Lina. But yeah, that's going to be a scream out. And that is the first blood going to Ryuboros playing on that Queen of Pain. That is not the start they wanted. Brewmaster needs to be careful, man. He's not even 6. If he gets fissured over here, he could be in a bit of trouble, but he's going to go ahead and fall back. So belieB really showing in the early stages that they have all the reactions that they need to stop this aggressive tri-lane.
Yeah, what 5 stars really needed to do is just push it to the tower, and then they needed to go behind before the Tide was 6. Because as soon as Tide got 6, he picked up a TP scroll, and he had mana boots as well, actually. So he's going to have the mana. And yeah, they needed to dive before Tide was 6 against 2 heroes.
He's actually got 30 CS too. This Tide has been doing really, really well. I have to imagine some of those are conversions. He's tied for the second highest CS in the map, next to Enigma. He's sitting at 36. See some pings out here top. Looks like Earthshaker might get caught here. There are boots on this Brewmaster. Are they going to be able to get to him in time, though? I don't think so. Yeah, the supports are just too far behind. They're very, very sluggish. Only 295 move speed, and yeah, both 295 on these supports. No boots yet. And right now, I mean, this is just not the most efficient tri-lane that I've ever seen coming out of 5 stars. Like, their supports and the hero that's supposed to be getting levels and being close to level 6 is not there yet. They're going to see a disruption on this Queen Pain. They're just going to blink away. Missed timing on the stun by quite a bit, actually. Joik is going to be able to throw out that fissure. Nice block on the 2 supports, and now we see Panda stuck on the one side. Here comes Tide with the Ravage. Hits all 3, actually just 2 heroes. But Panda's still going to go down. There's the Sonic Wave coming out from Queen of Pain. And Tide Hunter hits him with his freaking anchor, or whatever the heck that thing is, to get a kill for himself. So 0-3 right now in favor of belieB. Fissure going to be a little bit late. Not going to stop the TP. We're going to see a Tombstone dropped here by Undying. He actually pops his ultimate too. There's a Decay. Double damage is still on this Tide, man. They need to be careful. There's going to be the invis out by the Clinks. Don't think they're actually going to get a kill, though. However, managed to save out their Dirge.
Yeah, and losing a tri-lane like, what's the team called? 5 stars. Losing a tri-lane that like 5 stars has is really game-changing. It's really bad for them at this point. And it can sometimes like mean an entire game. Because your supports get far behind, your carry is also far behind. Well, you haven't really stopped anyone from the other team from farming, you know? So they really haven't accomplished much as of now.
Hopefully they can kind of get something going here. I mean, typically higher level teams will just send their supports off to farm somewhere and try to recover at some point. I mean, I see like teams like Navi doing that all the time. Like, if they have a bad start in terms of not getting the kills that they want, they'll go and they'll try to recover by just farming up efficiently and having people like jungle and stuff. Like Shadow Demon, if he gets 1 rank of Shadow Poison, he can jungle the small camp fairly effectively. You can do stuff to try to recover, but it's still, like you said, just not a favorable position. I mean, this Clinks, I mean, he's got 41 and 5 CS, so he's doing quite well, but Dirge isn't far behind him at all. He's sitting at 38 and 7. So in terms of just lane presence, I mean, Dirge is actually doing a fairly good job of keeping this Clinks passive.
He has that he has arcane boots, and he decided to go with the max decay over the max tombstone early, which means that he's going to be stealing. He's going to have some fairly good harass.
Yeah, it's actually pretty ridiculous. Only 4-second cooldown at max rank. I mean, you can use it so much, especially when you get those mana boots up. The only thing is, he doesn't really have the mana pool to sustain this, even with arcane boots. I think he actually needs a soul ring too, just so he doesn't go completely out of mana, because right now you can see him, he's just kind of hovering around half. But nonetheless, we might see a smoke gank up here onto this Clinks. They do only have 1 stun. There's going to be Fissure coming out, and Gale's going to be to follow, but I don't think this is going to work, yeah. He's just going to go ahead and wind walk his way out of trouble. Top lane. See, Brewmaster finally hit 6, only 28 and 9 though. Queen of Pain has actually surpassed this Panda in CS, and now because of the supports actually being gone middle lane, never mind, gonna see a Ravage manage to hit 3 here. Here comes the Queen of Pain with the blink in. Soul Catcher was used on Tide, but the Black Hole only managing to hit 1 here. Oh no, Tide runs into it as well, but a TP in from Dirge and the Decay. There's a Tombstone as well. Queen of Pain's in a bit of trouble here, should be able to blink out in 1 second. The wave does hit him. There's 1 Shadow Poison on him, but I don't think it's gonna be enough to get the kill, and that is another kill for belieB. Somehow managing to get their Queen of Pain out of trouble. Nice Ravage by the Tide. And just going on an overlevel Tide with their heroes, like the supports being solo level, they lose their Enigma and don't get anything out of it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, this is just not the start that 5 Stars had in mind, I'm sure, when they picked this lineup. This is something where you really do need to get kills at some stage. I mean, Klinks is great in the mid game if he can get a decent farm, which he is still doing, but he's more of like a side lane pusher than a team fighter in some cases. I mean, they can get an Orchid on the Tide or something and try to fight, but this middle tier tower is going to go down, and Klinks is not the kind of hero that can quote-unquote 1v5 as some hard carries are capable of doing, so he probably needs to be active sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I mean, 5-star right now, they're getting out farms. They're getting out pushed, out killed. They need to be doing something that gets them back in the game. SD, Lina, maybe Enigma, Panda. I mean, Panda has his ult now, so yeah, I would farm in with all those heroes.
Gonna try to gank the Klinks. He does have 3 ranks in his Skeleton Walk, though, so he is still moving really, really fast, even with that Shadow Strike on. They just can't catch him. Tombstone was dropped, but there is no way they're gonna be able to chase him down, man.
Oh, he just stopped.
Oh no, that's 5 free gold. Well, that just turned the game around. Free zombie.
Yeah. Yeah. Those zombies are creepy, man.
They are creepy.
Nightmares and shit.
And they chase you forever, by the way. Like, forever.
Yeah. Black from now will have nightmares about them. For sure. He had some creepy zombie lady chasing him down in Treemac.
We're going to see Klinks here with a creep. Doing some damage with his right clicks. There's a wave, not going to make contact, though. Can Dirge actually get a TP out? Ooh, he's not going to even try to stun. Oh, man, that was a really delayed stun. You have to imagine, like, you got to have that TP timing in your head, man. You got to throw out the stun just in case. I mean, he definitely would have hit him there, too, especially the angle that he threw it at. He just didn't try to stun early enough, and Dirge's going to be able to get away with his life, so losing out on yet another possible kill. Kling still does have up 1 Oblivion Staff, so that's nice, but Tide already has a blink. It's only 13 minutes into the game. And now, I mean, belieB can just pick and choose their fights. If Queen of Pain and Tide are there, they can pretty much kill anyone on 5 Stars team at this point, aside from maybe the Panda.
With the Undying, you can... with their lineup right now, they can just kind of go around in 5-man and, like, I think... Oh, the Tide actually picked up Blink Dagger with all his gold. Alright, I wasn't sure if he was going to get a Vanguard.
I literally just said that.
Blink Dagger.
You weren't paying attention at all, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, I had someone messaging me, so yeah,
it's understandable.
I wasn't paying attention. So at this point, I mean, belieB can really just go around in 5-man with their lineup. I mean, Tombstone, Ravage, Quapult, Fisher, Veno, Wards, and Gale. It's just so strong in a team fight that if 5-star tried to fight it, I think they would just kind of get ravaged. Unless Panda gets off really nice initiation.
Oh no, this is really bad for the supports. They can't get cut out here. Is there going to be a disruption? They're just baiting it out. Oh, he throws out the disruption too late. Tide still gets the Ravage off. Lina goes down to a fissure, and there's the Echo Slam. Double kill for Joik. And we're going to see a dust as well. Here comes Queen of Pain, throwing out the burst damage onto Brewmaster. He does manage to get his ult off, but I don't think he's going to be able to get any kills here. Dirge is getting quite low. There's a black hole hitting basically nothing. Nice Cyclone.
Oh, no.
I mean, they just pretty much immune to their own black hole right there. That was really unfortunate. Klinks drops as well. Manages to get 1 kill, though, on the Queen of Pain. And now Shiny's in a bit of trouble, too, from this Enigma. And he's going to go down to Undying Decay spam. And Brewmaster drops as well to an Anchor Smash. 1-9 in favor of belieB. And this is a probably not safe TP coming out from the Lina. There's a stun coming out. This Cake Safe Gale, 5 seconds left. He hasn't even popped his ultimate. Doesn't matter, though. There's a stun going off onto Defect, playing that Undying. But that is a triple kill for the Tide Hunter. Exiled, 4-0-6, 56 CS, 1-10 right now. And this Tier 1 bottom lane is not long for this world, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, there was some potential there for a swift turnaround, but the Enigma, he used Black Hole pretty much to target only the Tide in hopes of a kill. And the Tide already used Ravage, he already used Gush, he already used Anchor Smash. I mean, it's a 5-second cooldown, so you can't be holding that and hoping to come out on top. But yeah, I'm glad 5 stars got a kill. Nice.
On the
Yep.
board, man. On
Yeah.
the freaking board. 5,000 actual gold.
Who actually got it? Oh, it was
It was
Clinks.
Clinks, yeah.
Now has the right to flame his team. If he was an NEODota player. Check his score, man. It's 1-1.
He's
So
not
sick.
feeding. That's not technical feed, man. If you're 1-1,
Yeah.
you got to be negative score. He has to die at least one more time. But 5,000 gold and experience right now in favor of belieB. Ball is definitely in their court at this point. Whatever they decide to do, and Dirt is actually going straight for a pipe. Already has his arcane boots finished. And only one rank is so rip. I mean, typically you see at least two, because when you have Tombstone down, you're going to have a pretty decent amount of zombies, but I suppose it doesn't really matter at this point either. They're just so far ahead.
Yeah, I mean, belieB's course of action here should just be brute forcing down like all the outer towers. Because they have such an advantage.
And it looks
They
like they're
can just,
probably going to
every
be doing
time
that.
Ravage is up. That is. And it's up in 8 seconds, so.
Oh, Queen of Pain actually not going to continue diving onto this Lena. Enigma's going to be here. Does have up his mech, but he really, really needs a BKB. There is no hope of getting an ultimate off against an Earthshaker and a Blink tied with a Ravage. I mean, that's going to be so tough. And wow, actually we're going to see Brewmaster get caught here on the side as well. There's a Fissure coming off. He doesn't have his ultimate yet, but I think that actually blocks him. Ooh, he's going to go down here, try to juke into the side. And I think he's actually just going to get stuck over here and maybe not die because the rest of 5 stars is currently coming in from this tier 2 top tower. And yep, they're just going to go ahead and retreat, so belieB not choosing to risk it, and I think that's decent. Oh, never mind, they're actually going to get caught out a bit here. The clap does manage to hit Joik. Does he have another fissure? He does. He throws it off, but he's not going to choose to echo right here. They might be been able to kill the Brewmaster if he did, but on the top side, we see Delilah actually disrupting himself, so he's basically just solidified the fact that he's going to die right there. Dying manages to get the kill with another decay. Tombstone going to drop to the tower, and on the right-hand side, it looks like Joik will eventually fall to the Brewmaster, popping his ultimate. Came off cooldown. He's going to go for a double here. Cake's in a lot of trouble as well. Boulder throw does go off, and he tries to get healed from defect, but I don't think it's going to be enough. He does throw out the ultimate, but Brewmaster ultimate pretty freaking strong even at level 1. Managing to basically take out 2 supports, but there's a Blink and Ravage right in there. That's a triple kill immediately. Takes out Enigma, Lena, and Brewmaster with one combo of his abilities. That stacking right there, a little bit too strong, and fighting in close quarters like that against a Tide, you got to imagine that's going to happen sooner or later.
Let me just take off my headset real quick.
We got the slow clap from Josh. I wish you had your webcam on, man. That would have made it tons better, but hold on. Defect dropping here in the middle lane. The Orchid is popped along with the Soul Catcher. That's another kill for this Clinks player. 2-1 right now. He's actually got 107 CS, so he's not doing too bad, man. But is it enough, Josh?
Depends how much he makes of the Orchid in the next couple minutes. How sloppy belieB gets. They're feeling good right now. They have a big advantage. I mean, if this Clinks can get a couple kills off on the Earthshaker, Veno, the Quap even, actually everyone on the team is killable except the Tide and the Undying. If they're solo, that is. So, I mean...
Oh, they're going to try to get this Clinks. I'm pretty sure that he still has dust on him. There we go. Finally pops it out, but again, level 4 of his Skeleton Walk just makes him so fast. Lena's going to be spotted out here to the side, and yep, there's another wave. You're going to see a Purge going off onto the Earthshaker as well. Ryu blinks out. Oh, nice disruption, though, in the black hole right on top of the disruption. Exile's not going to be able to Ravage, or that's an illusion, never mind. Never mind, Ravage is still on cooldown, but he is going to die. I had an illusion targeted right there. I was like, wait, is Ravage already back up? But it always shows up on illusions because I'm awesome at this game. But that's going to be another 2 free kills here for 5 stars. As we can see, there's a haste rune on this Venomancer. He is behind enemy lines. He needs to get the heck out of here. He should be able to... Oh, he's going to place a ward. And, uh-oh, he's going to be able to get away, yeah. He didn't even pop his strafe. Wow, he TP'd to somewhere else, man. That was a long TP. I think he could have killed him right there.
He would have killed him, for sure. If he just popped strafe, even if it was a 2-second TP, I think he had a pretty decent chance of killing him.
Well, even if he didn't kill him with just the right-click damage, the Orchid would have came into effect because Cakes actually TP'd to the mid-tower. He didn't TP to base, so he wouldn't have gotten healed if he was sitting in the well right there. But nonetheless, 1 extra kill going to get out of there. They did manage to kill Tide, though, so I suppose that's pretty good. They just need to be able to keep getting kills like that and give Clinks as much time as he needs to farm. I mean, he's almost level 14. It's 20 minutes in the game. They're actually getting a little bit of gold back into their advantage right now. 2,500 is a pretty sizable swing considering they haven't gotten any towers yet. So if they can keep on fighting these people off, I mean, Brewmaster, once he gets level 11 ulti, that's really, really strong. I don't think this game is over, man.
No, definitely not. Clinks needs BKB to start, though.
Yeah, he did finish his treads. He's got about 1,000 on him. If he wants to go ahead and pick up an Ogre Club, I'm sure he probably will. at this point, because if he gets up a BKB, he can pick off heroes like Queen of Pain who don't have the greatest survivability, especially because she's got about 1,000 HP right now, and obviously the Orchid's going to help with that. Oh, hold on, Cake's going to get caught out here by the bottom rune spot. There's the combination we've been looking for. Soul Catcher, the Disruption, and a Light Striker were followed by Dragon Slade from Lina. More than enough to pick off that kill, and actually Delilah goes ahead and gets it right there. We're going to see a TP out here from Earthshaker. Nothing that this Brewmaster could do short of popping his ultimate, which he does not choose to do. Wants to save it for team fights, but Roche attempt here by belieBers, and I don't think that 5-star actually knows about this.
They're really struggling with this. Like,
they don't have a tank, man. Well, actually they do, but
got a couple tonks, but they just don't got the damage.
yeah, especially because the
Picked up
Venomancer and the
the-
ES aren't there either. So it's a 3-man Roche
Yeah.
attempt.
I mean, this is like a solo game. I think Orange just realized that they're doing Roshan
Oh, he drew a little
after
bit on the
getting the
map.
kill. Yeah.
Well,
It's kinda,
this might be the slowest Roche attempt I think I've ever seen. And if anybody
Yeah.
was here to see this, then belieB would just get completely slaughtered. They are going to eventually
Oh my
get it, though.
God!
Wow, Queen of Pain almost died right there. Holy cow, how did he live? Gonna go ahead and bottle up and go back to base. Undying, actually the one who picks up the Aegis. Interesting choice.
that was a huge struggle. That was that was AI matchup, computer versus AI, or computer versus man rather.
I think it was like a raid boss, dude.
Top tower is under
Yeah.
attack.
I don't really know if putting the Aegis on Undying is the right call here. I mean, what does he do after he drops his tombstone and ultimates, basically? I mean, I got to imagine giving it to a Queen of Pain, giving her another full mana bar would be slightly more useful. In the meantime, this top tower is going to drop to the Enigma conversions. I just don't know if that was necessarily the best choice for the Aegis, but I guess we're going to find out here in the future. Clank's
Yeah,
running
I mean,
away.
Quap's mobility is always a reason to give her Aegis. She can blink out after dying if she is going to get killed twice. She can kill a lot of heroes in fights. She can play more ballsy. She doesn't have to worry about getting Orchid in fights and stuff. So yeah, I agree. It definitely should have been on Quap over Undying.
Well, it looks like we're actually going to see 5-stars choose to play a bit aggressively right here. Blink Dagger was picked up on the Brew. He doesn't have it on himself yet, though. He's sending it to him on the Courier. He's got his level 2 Primal Split, so that's going to help him out quite a bit. And really, I think it's going to come down to if they manage to catch the tide before he gets a decent Blink Ravage, even if he does Ravage and only hits like a handful of heroes, it might not be that bad, assuming how much farm. Hold on, we're going to see them go in onto Defect right here. He does have that Aegis, however, even if they drop him, there's a Primal Split. They're going to go on him right here, and he will eventually drop. The Cyclone was used on Cakes as well. Disruption going up onto Exile, but there's a Ravage. Only manages to hit the 2 supports in the back, and they are not going to live through that kind of burst damage. Brewmaster's in trouble now, too, though. His ultimate is going to wear off. Can he blink away in time? And he's actually not going to blink at all. He's going to get fissured out and anchor smashed as well, and that is Brewmaster dropping. So of course, as soon as I say, I don't know why they gave it to Undying. Apparently 5-stars wants to make it worth it, and all tunnel vision on that Undying. Interesting targeting choice right there.
Yeah, and the fight has made belieB realize that they can just kind of push towers. I mean, it's forced the mid tower down. I think belieB had a big enough advantage that they could have just went mid and forced the fight and took down the tower.
Well, I mean,
the
that
first place.
situation kind of played into their favor anyway. I mean,
Oh yeah, big time.
it was the perfect situation for them. They just had it, so the Undying was standing out in the front. They actually baited him a bit, and I can't actually believe that 5-star actually went on that. I mean, they didn't even have the Clinks there. He basically just ran away. I mean, he almost has enough for his BKB if that's what he's going to go for. He's side pushing pretty decently. He's got level 4 strafe, and yeah, Clinks drops towers relatively fast if you leave him alone. But is anybody from belieB actually going to react to this? Ooh, the Tide has a gem. That's actually going to be very, very annoying for Clinks coming into the next couple of team fights. Clinks, however, almost 16 at this point, 158 CS. I believe that's the highest on the map. Let me double check. Yeah, 158 actually by quite a large margin. Nobody at this point on belieB is above 100. Queen of Pain is the closest, sitting at 95. And in terms of overall efficiency and farm, I gotta say that 5-star is actually a bit ahead. They just haven't been able to win team fights.
I mean, Tide has Blink Dagger, which pretty much guarantees he's going to get a good Ravage off. And he's picked up a mech and a gem now, and yeah, the Ravage is just what's destroying their team. I mean, Enigma's never going to get a hole off. Lina's not going to be able to cast many spells. Shadow Demon's going to get messed up. Clinks until he gets a BKB.
Oh, disruption coming off on the Tide. They're going to catch him out here. There's no way he's living through this. There's the Orchid as well. Exile going to get picked. See TP reaction coming out from belieB. But Tide is already out of there, and I think they're just going to go ahead and back up and maybe try to push mid. I think that would be the best call in the situation. And they lost the gem too, man. That is a really big problem because now... Actually, did he just kill it? I think he just killed it. Okay.
Yep.
I was going to say, they could use it for counter warding if they wanted to, but he's not going to do that. He's going to play it safe, not allow them to even get it back. Oh, is he going to go for cakes right here? He does have his Orchid up. No creep death pacted, though. Is he going to go for it? Okay, he's just going to go for the Dirge instead, I guess. Maybe he thinks that he can actually kill him. I mean, it is, I suppose it's possible. He does do a pretty good amount of damage. Here we go. He death packs the creep. There's the Orchid BA. He's just going to run to the side here. I don't think he's actually going to drop to this. I thought he might have been able to pick up the Venomancer. Only had 900 HP, and he's actually not going to do that. Just going to keep farming away.
Yeah, he definitely should have went for the Venomancer. It was an easy kill. Veno, yeah, just an easy prey.
Well, one thing that he has going for him, too, now is he has his BKB money, if he chooses to go for it. I don't know if he's going to go for something else like an MKB or a crit and just try to rely on being able to Orchid the... Okay, never mind. He is going to go for the BKB. I think that's the safer option, obviously. He still does a pretty good amount of damage, and is going to be picked up here in a bottle by Queen of Pain, who has up her Aghanim Scepter as well, so she's doing great. 160 S, 4, 1, and 5. And
Pene Gigante 666 has now picked up his BKB, and he's sending it to himself. So that's looking up for 5 stars. That's the thing that will turn around this game, if anything. I mean, 5 stars doesn't really have much physical damage, so I think I've counted them out too much. The quad win Aghanim Scepter, which he definitely shouldn't have, with Tider, Shaker, and Veno already on the team, because that's so much magical damage already. They needed some physical DPS, so Quap getting something like an MKB this game, Lincoln's MKB, would be a really good decision. But,
oh, wow, that was actually a really nice reaction. Managed to clip the Clinks out right there, and the Ravage does make contact, but is it going to be enough? The Fissure comes, no, BKB is popped, and he's going to be able to get away. They just went all in right there on the Clinks. I got to hand it to Exile, man. That was a really fast reaction from him, but unfortunately, they just can't kill him, man. He's too fast, had the BKB finished, and was able to just get himself out of that terrible situation. And, man, that really is rough for belieB.
yeah, that's bad. And at this point,
oh, DD bottom, but he runs right past it. Oh, man, that, oh, he did spot it out, okay. He is going to pick it up here. Oh, man, if Tide saw that too, that could be troublesome. In the meantime, Tombstone is dropped mid. Brewmaster going to be forced to split right here. This could be a big team fight. Clinks doesn't have a BKB, though. He's going to pick off Cakes and just a couple of strafe auto attacks on the side. Clinks getting another kill. We're going to see a Purge going off onto Defect, and here comes the Blink in. Exile does not have Ravage, though, and Queen of Pain still doing a tremendous amount of burst damage with a Scream and Wave combination, killing the Shadow Demon and Lina. Now we're going to see a little bit of a retreat here. Oh, nice Black Hole catches Stoic. He actually blinks right into it. No Echo Slam yet. He does get it off, but Shiny's still alive right here. There's a dust coming out as well, but this double damage from Clinks is so much to deal with. belieB is getting taken out here single-handedly by this Clinks. He has so much damage. Queen of Pain ends up dropping as well, and he's going to go ahead and pop his Invis, go up to the high ground, see if he can potentially pick somebody off, or maybe just push mid-tower. Queen of Pain actually buying back after the fact, and even though the Clinks was so farmed and a DD, and they didn't have Ravage either, belieB still managed to do fairly well in that team fight. I mean, that was like the worst case scenario.
Yeah, I mean, that went really good for 5 stars as well, though. They picked up a lot of kills, and a lot of much needed experience that they needed as well. And it's just feeding the Clinks, and he's the hardest carry in the game. And as the game progresses, it's going to be very hard to deal with him, since they don't actually have any physical DPS. Anyways, he's going on the Tide top, and yeah, he just does about half his health.
Yeah, he's just a bit too tanky. He's actually playing this pretty cocky, though. There's going to be a dust out. They are going to go in right here. BKB is popped if he wants a TP, but yeah, Skeleton Walk more than enough. Oh, blink in and clap from the Brewmaster. They're actually not going to choose to engage into this, though. There were 4 heroes here from belieB, however, not quite close enough to follow up on that Brew. His ultimate's still down. Tide Ravage should be up much sooner. Yep, it's only about 10 seconds away. So I really think that it's going to be belieB's best favor to go ahead and push this, especially considering the Enigma is bottom lane. He does have his BKB now, too, though. That's going to be really problematic. If Enigma gets a decent hole, we could see an entirely different team fight coming out.
He got a good hole last fight. That was definitely the best hole that he could ask for.
Yeah, I mean, Earthshaker blinking into it was definitely unfortunate. I mean, it was almost at the same time that he threw out the black hole. I mean, you can consider the blink delay kind of what attributed to him being in there in the first place, but really, really nice hole by him nonetheless. And they are going to get the tower for pretty much free. No contention whatsoever coming out from 5 stars.
Well, I mean, 5 stars also got a tower in response.
Yeah, the Enigma pushed here too. tier 2 bottom. Yeah, that's definitely true. Oh,
Oh,
wow.
no.
Brewmaster getting caught out here. Way away from his team. He doesn't have his split either. Just going to go ahead and drop. Lena throws at a Light Striker where he hits 2 heroes, but it's not going to really do anything. BKB forced to be popped right here. Ravage hits 2. BKB and Enigma, but he doesn't have his Black Hole. It's on cooldown. And now Shadow Demon, Brewmaster, and Lena are all dead right now, but Klink's coming in from the back. Pops his BKB, trying to go on the Earthshaker to the high ground. He does not miss a single attack. Gets the kill right there, and he's going to go ahead and retreat back to his base, but no BKB now to be able to hold his base, and I don't know if they're going to be able to defend against this. I mean, Klinks does a lot of damage, but is he going to be able to
They have
chase him
Glyph.
away?
So I think they'll be okay.
Tombstone's about to fade too, actually, so they're going to be, I think, okay here, yeah. Orchid popped onto
Yeah.
Ryu right there, just to chase him off.
I mean, Team 2, the best thing they have for actually getting into the enemy base is Venom Wards. Like, Tombstone doesn't do anything besides kill creeps. It doesn't hurt the towers or anything like that, so... they don't really have, like, that's the problem with Dirge. If you pick them without actual ways to get into the base, like, force yourself, like Chen creeps or enchant creeps and stuff like that, so...
Man, I gotta tell you, this game's been a lot closer than I think we've been giving 5 stars credit here for. I mean, the gold lead really hasn't gotten any bigger. I mean, they've lost a handful of towers, but it's been hovering at right about 5,000 in favor of belieB at this point. Only 2,000 experience. Oh, disruption out right here. Are they going to be able to catch him? No, they will not. Or was that an illusion?
That was an illusion.
Okay. That's the
Yeah.
second time I found this game. I was like, wait a minute. I didn't actually see if it was an illusion right away, but I thought it was because I just looked at the minimap and I was like, oh, Queen of Pain's in the base.
And Smoke Yank is revealed. So yeah, we're gonna see belieB going for mid tower right now. Or not belieB, 5-star, and
Oh,
it's
they're
at
going to get it for
120
sure.
health,
It's actually
so,
my range.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah, they probably should have denied it since it's quite a bit of gold. And everyone's poor on 5-star,
But Roshan's
third
up
world
here.
country, etc.
Tied up, going to go for a mech. Going to see a disruption in the middle lane. It is going to be on defect. There's going to be a Gale coming off. Big Echo Slam manages to hit 3 heroes. They're all stuck, and 5 stars just evaporates. There's a nice Black Hole, though, coming out from Shiny, and Klinks is trying to play cleanup crew. He will manage to get the Venomancer and the Dirge, but is it going to be enough? There are just zombies everywhere. There's the wave out. Shiny's in a lot of trouble now. Pops the mech. Not going to be enough. Trying to TP away, but oh my god, is he real? Okay, never mind. Not going to get away. Fissure does come out. Triple kill for the Earthshaker, and there goes Kling. So that is a full team wipe. Very well done, and they didn't even have Ravage for that. The Black Hole was really nice. Unfortunately, a bit late. Nice reaction by Joik, though. Really nice Echo Slam. Managed to solidify that team fight.
Yeah, the Clinks stuck around to try to help Enigma. He tried to kill the Quap when Enigma was TPing away, and
He almost got
died
out,
because of
man.
it.
He almost got out.
Who, the Oh, the
The
Enigma,
Enigma, yeah. He was less than like
mean-
half a second, I think, away from that TP going off.
Yeah, the Clinks lost his life for it. He has buyout though, so... But if he doesn't buy out, he's 1k off MKB, and he'll be a huge start in the game. We see an ultimate orb picked up on Quap as well. So she's heading towards Sheepstick. Tide's picking an item up as well. Probably Mystic Staff with 2,700 gold.
You think he might just go
Oh, he gets...
Refresher? Yeah, I was about to
Yeah.
ask that if you think he would go there, but I
I
guess
wasn't
it's
sure. He
obvious
was-
now.
Yeah, he was sitting there for a couple seconds, so...
I think Double Ravage is one of the hardest things to play against. I mean, even if you have a BKB and a handful of heroes, like, typically Tides in later stages of the game just have enough survivability based on the hero being so tanky in itself that you can't really take him out that fast. And if you try to, you have other threats on the team like Queen of Pain who can go in and Echo Slam as well. So he's going to have all the time in the world to set up his Ravages once he goes for that Double Ravage. And we're going to have to see if 5 stars has what it takes to defend against that. Roshan's still up, by the way. Saw Plague Ward going down here into the pit. So if anyone's going to be going for it, we do see a ward going up. Double damage picked up by defect. So we could see another Roche attempt here from belieBers. But if they go for it, I think that 5 stars is definitely going to know better. They have a ward basically right on top of where
Yeah, I
belieB
think
warded.
that'll be a mistake if belieB goes for it. It's going to die so slow. They really, unless they set up the Venom wards, and even then it's going to die slow. Because they don't have physical damage output.
Who I actually like the Sentry quite a bit too from belieB, but they have to be going in from the river. So if they choose to push up the creep wave and then go in from the side, that'll be a very, very effective ward. And I think the Klinks might actually just play this aggressively. Going on to Ryu right here. He's going to get caught out and stunned with the Orchid on. No way to get away from that. The Purge goes off as well, and Queen of Pain is forced to buy back. So at the very least, that's going to scare them out of the Roach Pit for the moment. And wow, that thing basically lost no life. You're definitely right. They don't do any damage.
Yeah, and that's going to be the reoccurring theme throughout this game. That they don't have any physical damage.
Well, Roche battling it out with the Plague Words right here as the rest of 5 stars is sitting on their side of the river trying to decide what they want to do. And Clink's killing
Well,
Ancients right here. Oh, they're going to go back in and go for it, I guess.
there's one of two situations that's going to occur. I think belieB's going to get too low, and due to fighting Roche, and then they're just going to get wiped, and then that's going to pretty much be game. Or,
Oh, there's a haster, and that could be really good. Oh, Queen of Pain picks it up. If they want to choose to go for it, now's the time. Brewmaster goes in. Is he going to pop his ult before he gets Ravage? He finally does get it off. Oh, XL goes in. Ravage manages to clip 2, but Enigma's so far away, should be fine. Clink's, on the other hand, taking quite a bit of damage. Goes right onto Defect, and there's going to be ultimate. Black Hole only managing to hit 1 hero. I don't think it's going to matter, though. It actually looks like 5 stars doing quite well, and there's a Queen of Pain burst damage. Clink's is the first to fall. He does buy back into the game immediately. There's an Echo Slam going off onto the Lena, but manages to live through it. Fissure coming off as well. Is it going to be enough? The Tombstone Zombies, but nope. Clap coming out, and a right click from Brewmaster will kill the Earthshaker. In the meantime, looks like Lena does eventually fall to the screen from Queen of Pain, and now Kaze is in some trouble. Just buybacks all over the place, and that haste turn for the Queen of Pain, man, that was a huge turnaround. Allowed him to get positioning for a great ultimate, and eventually pick off the Clinks, and Clinks is actually alive right here, just kind of creeping away, maybe trying to defend. Oh no, there's going to be a dust out, and oh, is he really going to die again? Clinks needs to be able to get away from this. If he doesn't, they're going to get a free Roche, and is he going to be fast enough trying to body block? There's another Anchor Smash. Can he get away? Shadow Strike just lasts so freaking long, and so does Gale. 15-second disables. Oh man, the dust wears off, and he is going to live to fight another day, Josh.
well, I wasn't sure if he was going to get away or not.
He's
That's
got a lot of health.
nerve-wracking.
2,500.
Yeah. He ate that Troll Warlord.
Well,
So you get Troll, so you get Eaten.
I require sustenance, man. That's basically what it
Yeah.
boiled down to. He was hungry. He
Well-
needed a snack.
Yeah, yep. And he lived because of it, despite not having any meat on his bones.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Hero, that's pretty much a complete skeleton, and I guess fire. Manages to have more HP than I think anyone on the map with a pretty good health death pacted creep. What is it, 80%? Yeah. It's 80% of his total HP. And now belieB once again going to try to go for Roche, and this thing is still sitting at just half HP after that entire team fight. And I really think the targeting is what's killing 5 stars here. Like, they're using their abilities, but they're killing the Dirge first. I mean, Dirge is a threat, but he's definitely not as big of a threat of heroes like Queen of Pain, and even, I mean, Earthshaker in this situation, he's not that hard to kill, although he does have a Ghost Scepter after that team fight, so that's going to make him a bit tankier, at least in terms of just against the Clanks. But yeah, they're going to go ahead and get Roche here. No matter how slow it dies, just no one in position really from 5 stars to stop them.
Roshan has fallen to the down.
38.5 minutes into the game, 18-31 in favor of belieB. Once again, guys, if you're just joining us, my name is Draskyl. Joining me is PAINTITGOLD from Quantic for the cast. belieB taking on 5 stars in the ECAL North and South America tournament. $3,000 prize pool as we see a 5-man smoke up out of belieB. Who are they going to go for here? Oh, they're going to actually get another Invis rune on top of that, but they're not going to give it to the Queen of Pain, actually. They're just going to walk right past it. I guess they just don't care. Or they're trying to pick somebody off and try to crack the base. But as much as, I mean, they're ahead right now, like you were saying earlier, they just don't have a great base pushing team. I mean, they have to pick people off to push the base.
Panda actually did, he did really well last team fight. For the first team fight, he needed to get a Cyclone on either the Earthshaker or the Tide before they used their, like, game-breaking ultimates, and he got the Shaker up in there for 6 seconds. And, yeah, he did really well last fight, and they still lost pretty poorly because the Black Hole mostly just hit the Dirge and one other hero. It was the Tide. It was the Dirge and the Tide that already used all their spells, so...
I think what hurt him quite a bit too is like Clinks was very, very aggressively positioned. His BKB was a bit late. I mean, he was at like 40% before he even tried to BKB. As we're going to see him go ahead and TP back to the base here to see if belieB has what it takes to go ahead and crack it. I mean, there is a Blink Ravage on this Tide. He's actually getting very close to his refresher. He's only about 2k away at this point, which I guess isn't very close, but still closer than he was a few minutes ago. Nonetheless, Queen of Pain throwing out some auto attacks on this tower. Are they going to go for it? Oh, there's a disruption. By the way, Queen of Pain does have the Aegis this time, which is definitely good for them. But the tower is just going to drop. Tombstone up here. Zombies popping everywhere. Killing the creep wave. Defect's going to run in here with the pipe pop, try to do some damage to the melee racks. Going to get chased out by the Shadow Poison and Purge as well coming out from Shadow Demon. So he actually blew his ult on that. I suppose it's not a super long cooldown, but one less thing they have
This
to worry about.
Panda, he's had like 2k gold for a while, and he's just kept dying and dying and dying with like that amount. I don't know why he's not buying an item. He needs to buy like a point booster or an Ogre Club.
Yeah, he is.
What are you doing, Panda? What are you doing?
He is very weak. I don't know.
Like, he's at 1300 health. That means it's like burstable before split. Which means that's a no-go. Can't do that as Panda. You need to be frontline, ready to blink in and stuff.
Well, speaking of Blink, looks like Enigma managed to get his hands on his own. He's actually really far, man. Even though he's 0-4, he's got Drum, Tranquil Boots, Mech, BKB, and Blink Dagger. So he's doing very, very well. I think he's second to farm only in Clinks, who does manage to finish his BKB for this next team fight, which is definitely going to be great, but he needs to have a bit better positioning, I think, in this team fight. Hopefully the black hole's much better. I assume that it will be. The big thing that's important to remember here, too, is that there's a smoke up inside the base, and they're actually going to fight outside of the base. I don't know if this is the best call. I figured they could just bait out the
This should be
Clinks or
really
something
obvious
else.
as soon as they don't see them.
Oh, they're going to catch
defending
out
their racks.
Venomancer. Oh, the Blink. Where did he go? Okay, he's going to go on Defect instead, and there's a Blink Ravage. Hits like everyone in the Echo Slam to follow, plus the Queen of Pain. Oh, what a huge blunder. Everyone stacking on top of each other. The Clinks is dead. He's not even here to add damage to this black hole, and Shiny
Yeah.
is going to go down. Holy backfires, Batman. That did not work out the way they wanted, and the Aspects are just going to be killed out here. Kaiser is not going to make it through the team fight. Buys back into the game, but with no ultimate, what can he hope to do? There's a Soul Rip going off onto Lina. Drops to the Decay. Triple kill for Defect, playing that Undying. Ouch. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. I mean, no BKB pop for Clinks. Need to make sure you hit that BKB before Ravage.
Well,
Because he can like, do enough damage to take out any hero in 5 seconds, pretty much.
yeah, I mean, his farm is tremendous, but his team fighting
Him
just hasn't
dying
been that good.
instantly. Yeah. I mean, that should have been really obvious smoke gank, but they had potential to like kill heroes with it. They just messed up in terms of initiation.
Yeah, well, I think that's pretty much just going to be GG. Brewmaster actually ties again. Poor guy has just not had the game that he's been looking for. So 5 stars. Looks like they might actually be taken out here by belieB. There are currently still 5 heroes from the team inside of their opponent's base, attacking this final, well, I guess not really attitude tower, but a base tower nonetheless, as Lina looks like she's going to get taken out. Almost manages to get Ryu, but he still does have that Aegis up, and he will drop to the Midnight Pulse damage. But Shiny with VKP bopped in a lot of trouble. There's his Dust going off as well to find out the Clinks. Delilah going to drop to Undying with his Decay, and I think this game is pretty much just over.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, I don't really, I don't have anything to add, man. It just feels like, you know, 5 stars didn't necessarily get outdrafted in my opinion, but belieB just executed the mid game enough to solidify them to win, and that last team fight just was kind of the nail on the coffin.
Yeah, I mean, 5 star had potential to turn it around, but they didn't make it. They didn't make it. They were playing from disadvantage from the get-go, I think. Their lanes.
Well, they indeed did not make it, but that's going to be it for today, guys. Only one game. belieBers takes out 5 stars in pretty convincing fashion, I would say, especially given those last couple of team fights. I want to thank you guys for watching, and of course, Josh for joining me on the cast. Last minute thing, but always nice to have you on, man.
Big Ravage coming out.
The hugest Ravage from Exile just hits so many
Yeah.
heroes right there after the entire
Yep.
team disconnects.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
No problem, man. No problem. Might have you on again sometime soon, but we'll see. But we're going to be out of here for the day. I want to thank you guys once again for watching, and we'll see you again real soon.